The ayes have it. I think we all do have the draft agenda for the meeting today. We can go through it. Okay, can someone raise the motion to adopt the agenda? It has been moved that the agenda be adopted. Any seconder?
Yes, seconder.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that the Accounts and Public Finance Committee's agenda for today be adopted. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. Thank you very much, honorable members. And then welcome to the board and management of the National Audit Office. Welcome to the members from the GPPA and the external auditors as well, which is Augustus Prom. You are all highly welcome to the National Assembly today. So be at ease for the Auditor General. This is your second home, you know. But before we start our normal proceedings, what we will do is we'll go in for introductions. So we would start from my immediate left. Yes, there.
Good morning. I am Baba Estrami. Good morning. I'm Augustus Prom Junior, engagement manager, Augustus Prom.
My name is Gena.
My name is Marabi Asad, Director of Committees.
I am Honorable Kebalang Fufana, a member of the FPAC committee, but today I'll be your chairman, deputizing in for the vice chair, Honorable Ablaimbo.
I'm Lamin Iman, a principal committee clerk.
Thank you very much, honorable members, and ladies and gentlemen. Today, what we'll be doing is to receive the accounts of the National Audit Office. So we'll just have some slight changes in the mode of operandi. Instead of us having the financial statement presentation page by page, what we'll just be doing is to concentrate on the key areas, both in the presentation of the financial statement and the presentation of the management letter as well, and the observations from GPPA. Then tomorrow we'll come back and then do the consideration. So today we'll be receiving the accounts of NAO for the year 2017, 2018, and then 2019 respectively. So now I would call on the Auditor General to do the presentation of these respective years of the accounts, but just giving us the summaries, not the detailed one, just the summaries of the key performances. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. For the information of the honorable members, I am not sure, with your permission, we have the activity report of 2018. 2017 was previously discussed here, and 2019 with us. I am not sure whether I should go through both 18 and 19, or I should just read 2019 activity report. I mean our performance report.
Thank you, AG. We would prefer to have them separately.
Separately, okay. Thank you very much.
Auditor General, sorry, with the external auditor, those people can concentrate
on the financial statements. Okay, thank you very much. I will begin with the 2018 activity report. And just to focus on, as you said, on the key areas. It gives me great pleasure to present the activity report of the National Audit Office for the year 2018. This report details the achievements and challenges of the National Audit Office and reflects the values and benefits of the Supreme Audit Institutions of the Gambia to external stakeholders. The Auditor General National Audit Office of the Gambia is an office created by the Constitution of the Gambia and entrusted with the responsibility of the audit of accounts of all government institutions, local government authorities, and other public bodies. It is expected to promote accountability, transparency in public activities. Section 102A of the Constitution stipulates that public institutions submit their annual activity reports and audited financial statements for review by the National Assembly. In addition, International Standard of Supreme Audit Institutions, ISSAI 20, envisage that information about SAI should be readily accessible and relevant. Their work process, activities, and products should be transparent. They should also communicate openly with the media and other interested parties and be visible in the public arena. The activity report of the Auditor General of the Gambia has been prepared keeping in view the principles of transparency and accountability as envisaged in the Constitution and ISSAI 20 and 21. The report aims to meet accountability requirements by reporting on our activities and seek to, 1, highlight the regularity and efficiency of the use of our resources, create awareness and understanding about the Auditor General and the National Audit Office role and functions, inform our clients and stakeholders, both internal and external, about our achievements and challenges, and share information about innovations within our organization to encourage emulation within and outside the National Audit Office. On page 5, this is who we are. The National Audit Office is the Supreme Audit Institution of the Republic of the Gambia. The Auditor General and the National Audit Office functioning under him is the external auditor of the government of the Gambia. In the constitutional scheme of checks and balances in a parliamentary democracy, the National Audit Office is designed to facilitate ensuring accountability of the executive to the legislature. The concept and establishment of audit is inherent in public financial administration, as management of public funds represent a duty of trust. Audit is an indispensable part of a regulatory system whose aim is to reveal deviations from the accepted standards of prudential management of public finances. In the Gambian system of governance, the National Assembly authorizes the budget, which prescribes how government will collect money through taxes and how much and for what purposes. There are also financial rules to ensure standards of propriety, regularity, and probity in managing public funds. The government ministries, departments, and other public bodies are expected to follow these rules and adhere to the framework prescribed therein when they receive and spend public money. The spending departments are accountable to the National Assembly for both the quantity and quality of their expenditure. Section 160 of the Constitution of the Gambia prescribes a unique role for the Auditor General of the Gambia in assisting the National Assembly to enforce the legislative accountability of government ministries, departments, and agencies. And then you have our core values. These are the, the standards that we conduct ourselves in our audits. I'll take you to, of course, these are our mandate and our powers, and the types of audit we do. We carry out a number of audits. We conduct different types of audit. Our audit mandate, as per the Constitution and the National Audit Office, specifies the entities that come within our audit purview. However, the audit scope and extent The methodology and approach to be adopted by the Auditor General in conducting audit of these entities is at the discretion of the Auditor General. We conduct financial audits, compliance audits, and performance audits, otherwise known as value for money audits. Financial audit is primarily concerned with expression of audit opinion on a set of financial statements. It includes examination and evaluation of financial records and expression of opinion on financial statements. Audit of financial systems and transactions included evaluation of compliance and applicable statutes and regulations which affect the accuracy and completeness of accounting records. An audit of internal control and internal audit functions that assist in safeguarding assets and resources and assess the accuracy and completeness of accounting records. We also do compliance audit, also known as regularity audit. This audit examines legal and administrative compliance, the probity and propriety of administration, financial systems, and systems of management control. Compliance audit examines the transactions relating to expenditure, receipts, assets, and liabilities of government for compliance with the Constitution of the Gambia and the applicable laws and the rules, regulations, orders, and instructions issued by the competent authority, either in pursuance of the provisions of the Constitution of the Gambia and the laws, or by virtue of the powers formally delegated to it by superior authority. Compliance audit includes an examination of the rules, regulations, orders, and instructions for their legality, adequacy, transparency, propriety, prudence, and effectiveness. That is, whether these are inter vires of the provision of the Constitution of the Gambia and the laws, that is legality, sufficiently comprehensive and ensures effective control of government receipts over government expenditure, assets, and liabilities with sufficient safeguard against loss due to wastage, misuse, mismanagement, errors, fraud, and other irregularities, that is adequacy, clear and free from ambiguity, and promote observance of probity in decision-making, transparency, and achievement of the intended objectives and aims, effectiveness. And the last and final one is the performance audit. Performance audit is an independent assessment of examination of extent to which an organization program is minimizing the cost of resources used to an activity, having regard to appropriate quality, economic issue focused on the cost of the inputs and processes. Efficiency. Efficiency is the relationship between the output in terms of goods, services, and other results, and the resources used to produce them. Efficiency exists where the use of financial, human, physical, and information resources is such that output is maximized for any given set of resource inputs, or input is minimized for any given quantity and quality of output. And the third is effectiveness. Effectiveness is the extent to which objectives are achieved and the relationship between the intended impact and the actual impact of an activity. Effectiveness addresses the issue whether the scheme, program, or organization has achieved its objectives. Performance audits go beyond judgment of compliance and accuracy to also evaluate performance and the value for money obtained through government transactions. And the following is the audit processes that we look at. And the key results that are achieved. And on page 20, page 15 of the 2018 activity report, the capacity building. The National Audit Office is a knowledge institution. As a result, my staff need to have regular continuing professional development program to help them keep abreast with advances in technology, new development in financial reporting requirements, and audit methodologies. During 2016, audit staff have participated in external and internal training courses and programs organized and partly sponsored by the United Nations Development Program, African Organization of English-Speaking Supreme Audit Institutions. Internal and external training has also been provided by the African Development Bank in the areas of internal public sector accounting standards, IT, regularity audit, and performance audit. The African Development Bank also provides sponsorship to staff on professional accountancy training programs such as AAT, CAT, ACCA, offered locally by the MDI and other private institutions. And a number of staff has participated in that. On accommodation in page 16, Accommodation has always been a challenge. Of course, now it's a thing of the past, but during this period, it has always been a challenge. As such, we work with both the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Finance. Local government in terms of sourcing a space, land for us, and the Ministry of Finance in terms of providing funds to enable us to build our own accommodation, which we now have. On the constraints, last paragraph on page 16, we continually experience two major challenges: our relationship with the executive over whose activities we are required to provide oversight functions, and inadequate vehicles to ferry staff to their workplace and for treks and provinces. Most of the time, of course, our vehicles will be seized at the bridge, and the staff will be asked to come down, and the vehicle will be commandeered for other purposes. So that has been a challenge. It continues to be, although at a limited pace now, but it still continues to be. And this is what the challenges continue up to page 17. In terms of publication of reports, on page 18, Section 161C stipulates that the Auditor General shall, after his or her annual report on the accounts of the government of the Gambia, of all offices and authorities of the government, of the courts, and of the National Assembly have been discussed in the National Assembly, cause the same to be published for public information. I have not been able to carry out these functions due to several reasons, key among which are lack of funds at the time, lack of capacity, platform for the publication of reports, a website, and we have been dealing with a backlog of accounts, and it is our view that the publication of these reports would not have the desired effect. Notwithstanding, now we have a platform to do the publications. We have our own website, and these things are, we are now publishing our reports on website and also share it with the appropriate public authorities. All the reports since 2007 are now also being deposited at the National Library for publication. We always send 2 copies. This is also in accordance with the National Library Act. During this period, these are the activities. Our different units carried out a number of audits. Performance audit did an audit on drug storage and distribution by the Central Medical Store, and the management of the community fisheries centers along the coastal road, along the coast. This is Bakau, Tanje, Gunjur, and Banjul. With the embassies, we did an audit on the Gambia High Commission in Abuja, Federal Government of Nigeria, the Gambia Embassy in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and the Gambia High Commission in Freetown and South Africa. On treks, and the CRR trek, that is Central River Region, we audited 59 institutions and 2 area councils during the same period. 1 hospital, 35 schools, 8 health centers, 6 immigration posts, 2 forestry posts, 1 sub-treasury, the Janjambure Prison Regional Head Team, and GRA Domestic Tax Post, GRA Custom Post. Well, these are the appointments that have been done during the period too, and the training workshops that we have been done. Essentially, that concludes the presentation for 2018. With your permission, I'll move on to the 2019 activity report. I think we have named it as annual performance report because we are also required by our standards, internal, to prepare a performance. It's the same as activity report. It's just the name change, but it's the same. And the format also have changed. This is in accordance with our standards too. We have changed the format of presentation. I will not repeat the introduction, but let me go on to the same page also on the capacity building during this period. Over the past years, audit staff have participated in external and internal training courses and programs organized and partly sponsored by the African Organization of Audit Institutions, English speaking, in the areas of internal public sector accounting standards, IT, finance and compliance audits, and performance audit. The NAO also provides sponsorship to staff on academic and professional accountancy training programs such as BSc in accounting, IT, AAT, CAT and ACCA offered locally by the University of the Gambia, MDI, and other private tuition providers. Our major challenges during this period. The Audit Office continually experienced major challenges. These include the recruitment of suitably qualified staff, particularly to senior positions, the unavailability of regular transport for daily auditing and treks, the failure of auditees to provide their financial statements and other documents, and the inability of the Auditor General to publish audit reports for public evaluation due to the National Assembly not discussing audit reports as required by the 1997 Constitution of the Gambia. NAO is an active member of international organizations of Supreme Audit Institutions. African Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, that's AFROSAI, and the African Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions English speaking, a subset of AFROSAI. The report also highlights our participation in this organization. The achievement we have recorded since my appointment as Auditor General in June 2013 would not have been possible without the selfless dedication and commitment of all the people of the NAO. I unreservedly thank them for putting the interests of the country first and making many sacrifices towards the attainment of a transparent and accountable public service. On page 3 is a description of self. What is the National Audit Office? The National Audit Office is an independent supreme audit institution in the Republic of the Gambia, headed by an Auditor General. The AG has the responsibility to audit the accounts of all offices and authorities of the Government of the Gambia, accounts of all the courts, the National Assembly, and all state-owned enterprises. The establishment and function of the National Audit Office, as well as the mandate of the Auditor General, are described in detail in sections 158, 159, and 160 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, sections 3, 4, 6, 13, and 14 of the National Audit Office Act 2015. Overview of the National Audit Office and our constitutional mandate and other standards. The National Audit Office, throughout the audit process, utilizes the documents where and when they apply. Here are short descriptions of the documents. One of them is the 1997 Constitution, the National Audit Act, the Public Finance Act, Financial Regulations, the Intosai Standards, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority Regulations, and Act and Regulations. On page 5, is the overview of the national, our regional and international partners. It is AFROSAI, which is the African Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, English speaking. AFROSAI, which is the African Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions. AFROSAI is a sub-language group of AFROSAI. And then Intosai, which is the world body of Supreme Audit Institutions. Our audit processes on page 6 follows our approach to audit, the planning, the performing, the reporting, and the submission and presentation of report, the publication and follow-up. Because the detail. On page 7, it again deals with the types of audit that we do, the financial audit, the compliance, and the performance. On page 8 is the number of audits that we carried out during 2019. The Ministry of Departments unit of the National Audit Office did 15 audits and provided 555 recommendations and 2 opinions. The Projects and Development units audited 10 audit staff, conducted 19 regularity audits, made 97 recommendations and 13 opinions. The External units dealt with 13 institutions for the fiscal year 2012 to 2017. Most of them were, of course, were in areas we helped to build the accounts and also helped to and then audit them. They did 13 institutions and made 191 recommendations and 32 opinions. Municipalities and area councils, they did 4 area councils and made 94 recommendations during the same period. The Performance Audit Unit, we did one on the monitoring and evaluation system by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, MOBSE, during the periods January 1, 2015 to July 31st, 2019. Monitoring and evaluation of the education system by the Ministry of Basic. We conducted this audit to determine the challenges faced by the education system and the quality of education in the Gambia. The National Audit realized that one of the key challenges is ineffective or weak monitoring system by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. This audit was motivated by poor performance and students in the West African secondary school examination. The report is on our website, and it was, of course, also I think it was also shared with the National Assembly. Yeah, the detailed report can be read. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll move on now to the challenges. All this following information here dealt with this monitoring mechanism. Our challenges on page 12. I am going to read our challenges again. What can be done better for timelier and better audit reports? The NAO faces numerous challenges during the audit process, which affects the outcome, timeliness, and quality of the reports, as well as its goal of ensuring public transparency and engagement of the work of the Audit Office. Delays in the submission of documents by auditees. The National Audit Office has highlighted an outcome of improving timely audit reports for better engagement with its partners in the Strategic Development Plan 2020 to 2024. This outcome will be achieved partly by solving the challenge of delay in the submission of requested documents from the auditees for the finalization and submission of reports. For auditors to carry out their audits on time and to complete the audit process, the auditee need to provide documents and respond to audit findings in a timely manner with the help of the oversight function of the National Assembly. Audit reports not discussed by the National Assembly. As per the 1997 Constitution, the Auditor General cannot publish audit reports unless discussed by the National Assembly, except due to delay. However, the AG has not published reports that have not been discussed by the National Assembly. For the better accountability of the government and public funds, the Auditor General's report should be discussed by the National Assembly in a timely manner to ensure they are published for public utilization. Not enough staff to carry out audits. In 2018, the National Audit Office, with approved budgets, started recruiting more staff to ensure that audit reports are of quality and delivered on time. The limited number of staff compared to the amount of audits to be conducted still play a role in the backlog and delay in the audit process. For faster auditing, the National Audit Office will have to employ more unqualified staff to carry out its planned yearly audits. Audit recommendations not acted upon. The National Audit Office faces key challenges on follow-ups and ensuring that the recommendations provided to auditees in the audit reports and management letters are acted upon. In the box here, the National Assembly and civil society organization oversight functions can be used to force all stakeholders to fulfill their mandate to ensure better transparency and accountability. The National Assembly can use its oversight function to make sure that government and other public entities are acting on the recommendations made by the auditors in their reports. Highlights of the audits are the highlights of the activities. It was during 2019 that our new building was completed and we transferred. We had it inaugurated by the president. That's what is indicated here. We completed our third strategic development plan, that is the 2020 to 2024. strategic development plan. The groundwork began in 2019. What we want to achieve for gender equality, I think we have advanced a lot in terms of gender equality, and the parity is now, I think, 53-47 in our office, male-female. We are trying to balance it also. This is also in compliance with our own standards too. Yeah. These are the summary of activities that we conducted during 2019. Just a summary of them. The rest are just information. The information of the National Audit Office. This is our organogram on page 15 and 16. Essentially, there's our information on page 17. We have financial information about the money that we received in 2019 and how we expended it. Essentially, that's all for the presentation of activity report. I will allow my finance manager to present the 2017, 2018, and 2019 receipts and payments. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Thank you, AG. And to the finance manager, all we need are the key highlights. Let's just summarize it, and tomorrow we will do the consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair and members, I would to focus on the key areas. I would like to refer you to page 11 for the statement of receipts and payments for the period 1st January to 31st December 2017. The financial statement. The financial statements and reports for the year ended 31st December 2017. Page 11.
2017.
First, we have in the statement we have balance at 1st January 2017. That's the opening balance. For 2017, that's 18,014,973. For the period before that, in 2016. For the same item, we have 20,186,265. Following that, we have receipts totaling 77,922,457. These comprise government subvention, refund, and other receipts. In 2016, we had 38,951,578. For payments, the total of which is 77,873,303 for 2017. In 2016, we had 21,029,753 dollars as payments. The balance as at 31st December 2017, that is the net difference between the receipts and payments, is 49,154 for 2017 and 17,921,824 for 2016. This is represented by the closing cash and bank balance as at the end of the period 2017, 49,154 and 17,921,824 for 2016. In summary, that is the statement of receipts and payments for 2017.
Thank you. You will proceed to 2018.
Thank you very much. 17. And if I can refer you again to page 11 of the financial statements and reports for the year ended 31st December 2018 for the statement of receipts and payments. There we have an opening balance of 56,154 for 2018 and 18,014,973 for 2017. Total receipts for the period of 2018, 63,796,975 $. In 2018 and 2017, 77,922,457. Payments, total payments in 2018 were 59,102,445, while in 2017 that was 77,873,303. The net difference of total receipts and total payments is 4,694,530 for 2018 and 49,154 for 2017. This is as well represented by the closing cash and bank balance of the same amount for 2018 and also for 2017 respectively. That's the receipts and payments in summary for 2018 financial year.
We can have 2019.
Thank you. For 2019, we have this statement on page 12. If you could kindly turn to that page. The statement of receipts and payments for 2019. The balance at 1st January 2019, which is the opening balance, is 4,794,530. And for 2018, 56,154. We have total receipts in 2019 of 79,180,910, and in 2018 we had 63,796,975. Total payments for 2019 were 64,416,434, and total payments for 2018 were 59,102,445. Our net difference between total receipts and total payments was 14,764,477 for 2019, and for 2018, 4,694,530. This is also represented by cash and bank balances in 2019 of 14,764,477, and in 2018 of 4,694,530. That's the financial statements, the receipts and payments for the period of 1st January to 31st December 2019.
Thank you very much to the Auditor General and then the Finance Manager of the National Audit Office. So we will now move on to the External Auditors, which is Augustus Strong. So we will concentrate on the Consolidated Management Letter with the key highlights. from. So what we will do is to do justice. Since the National Audit have done yearly presentations, so it will be ideal as well to have the external auditors give us some audit opinions, just key highlights to 2017, 18, and then 19 as well. Then we can come into the key highlights for the consolidated management letter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Please refer to page 8 of the financial statements for the year ended 31st of December 2017. Auditor's opinion to the members of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly of the Gambia on the financial statements of the National Audit Office of the Gambia for the year ended 31st of December 2017. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of the National Audit Office of the Gambia, which comprises of the statement of receipt and payment, notes to the financial statements, including accounting policies applicable to the National Audit Office. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the National Audit Office of the Gambia for the year then ended, and has been prepared in line with the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, the IPSAS, on cash basis and in accordance with the requirements of the National Audit Office Act 2015, and also in accordance with the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Signed, Augustus Prom, dated 10th of January 2022. That's for 2017. Please refer to page 8 of the 2018 audited on the financial statements of the National Audit Office of the Gambia for the year ended 31st of December 2018. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of the National Audit Office of the Gambia, which comprises the statement of receipt and payment, notes to the financial statements, including accounting policies applicable to the National Audit Office. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and a fair view of the financial position of the National Audit Office of the Gambia for the year then ended, and has been prepared in line with the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, the IPSAS, on cash basis, and in accordance with the requirements of the National Audit Office Act 2015, and also in accordance with the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Signed, Augustus Prom, 10th of January 2022. Please refer to page 8 of the 2019 financial statements. Auditor's opinion to the members of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly of the Gambia on the financial statements of the National Audit Office of the Gambia for the year ended 31st of December 2019. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of the National Audit Office of the Gambia, which comprises of the statement of receipt and payment, notes to the financial statements, including accounting policies applicable to the National Audit Office. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and a fair view of the financial position of the National Audit Office of the Gambia for the year then ended, and has been prepared in line with the International Public Sector Accounting Standards, the IPSAS, on cash basis, and in accordance with the requirements of the National Audit Office Act 2015, and also in accordance with the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Signed, Augustus Prom, dated 10th of January 2022.
Emphasis of matters, that is, starting with A, the cash and cash.
Emphasis of matter, page 8. We would like to bring to the attention of the users of the financial statements the following. A, cash and cash equivalent, closing balance difference of 629,391. As at 31st of December 2019, the expected closing bank balance as per the statement of receipts and payments amounted to 14,764,476, whereas the closing bank balances amounted to 15,393,867, giving a difference of Gambian dollars 629,391 as an unreconciled difference as stated in point 9 of the financial statements. Furthermore, this unreconciled difference has been highlighted in the management letter report under 5.1b for management action. Page 9.b, payroll reconciliation, difference between the payroll report and the financial statements amounting to Gambian dollars is 2.4 million. Upon our review and reconciliation between the payroll report and the financial statements, we noted an unreconciled difference of 2.410 million between the payroll report and the financial statements as at 31st of December 2019. This unreconciled difference has been captured under Note 4 of the financial statements and also highlighted in the management letter report under 7 for management action. The financial statements have not been qualified on this basis, but because of its significance, we would like to bring this to the attention of the users of the financial statements.
Thank you. Now, we move into now the consolidated management letter. There is less emphasis on the key highlights.
Honorable Chair, so should we read the observation and then they respond?
No.
Just observation?
Just the highlights.
Okay.
That will be done tomorrow.
Okay. Human Resource Management, page 4 of the Management Letter Report, point 1A, Service Rule Compliance. During the audit exercise, we noted the following lack of compliance with the approved service rule of the office for the period 2017 to 2019. Section 0204, job descriptions. It was a requirement for job descriptions, but upon our review, we noted job descriptions were not in file. Section 0212, performance appraisal. It was a requirement for annual performance appraisals, but upon our review, we noted that this was not conducted. Point B, key vacant positions. Section 4, subsection 2 of the National Audit Office Act 2015, on organization of the National Audit Office, states that the Auditor General shall be assisted in the performance of his or her functions by 2 Deputy Auditor Generals. During our review, we noted both positions were vacant from 2017 to 2019. C, training, staff bonding. During our review on the bonding process for staff on long-term training, we noted surety bonds were completed by the staff being sponsored and co-signed by the witness, but the following was also noted. Registration of bond forms. All surety bonds are to be registered under the Ministry of Justice and a registration number issued to authenticate the bond in line with the recommended practice. We noted that this was not done for the period under review. D, staff leave outstanding. Upon our personal file review procedures performed on annual leave and further inquiries from department heads, it revealed that the following staff members, as per our audit samples, have long outstanding leave arrears as at 2019 as listed below. E, verification of credentials for new staff. During our review on personal files of new employees for the period under review, there was no evidence in file to ascertain that verification of qualifications or credentials was conducted in the hiring process.
Can you go to page 11?
Page 11, PPE. Differences between quantity delivered and quantity recognized in the asset register. Following our test of details and by extension physical asset verification exercises performed, it revealed the following differences between the quantities delivered and received as per delivery notes and quantities recorded in the office's non-current asset register as listed below.
Can we go through them individually?
Stacking chairs, $3,500, units delivered 72, units recorded in the register 57, units not recorded or seen 15 pieces. Conference chair, 10,000 per unit, units delivered 24 pieces, units recorded in the register 22 pieces, different of 2 pieces. Training chair, unit cost 9,000, units delivered and received 30 pieces, units recorded in the register 15 pieces, a difference of 15 pieces. Junior executive chair, 6,000 per unit, units delivered 120 pieces, units recorded in the register 87 pieces, 33 pieces difference. Office desk 4-in-1, unit cost 75,000, units delivered 18 pieces, units recorded in the register 4 pieces, difference of 14 pieces. Cafeteria table, unit cost 9,000, Units delivered, 18 pieces. Units recorded in the register, 16 pieces, a difference of 2. Junior executive desk, 11,750 per unit. Units delivered, 80 pieces. Units recorded, nil, 80 pieces difference. Office desk 2-in-1, unit cost 37,500. Units delivered, 2 pieces. Units recorded, nil, 2 pieces difference. Desk with metal legs, unit cost 9,500. Units delivered and recorded, 44 pieces. Units recorded in the register, 10 pieces, difference of 34. High glass cabinet, cost per unit 15,000. Units delivered and received, 28 pieces. Units recorded in the register, 19 pieces, giving a difference of 9 pieces. Laptop computers, 40,000 per unit. Units delivered, 100. Units recorded, nil, a difference of 100 units. Pardon?
Page 12 on the implications and the recommendations as well.
Okay. Implication. Differences between the quantity delivered and the amount captured in the register implies an incomplete asset register, which exposes management to a risk of assets going missing and not detected, considering the asset register is the basis of control and monitoring. Our recommendation: the asset register should be in line with the quantity delivered to ensure that there is adequate monitoring and controls on the assets of the office.
Thank you. You may continue reading based on areas that you believe are high priority areas and should be brought to the attention.
Okay, so I'll just give you a run through. Point 2, fuel management. Point 8, we noted there was no fuel allocation policy. Page 8, please. Fuel allocation policy. We noted that there was no fuel allocation policy for the period under review. B, we reviewed the fuel register or fuel logbook, and we noted the following. We noted the transactions listed below was not updated in the fuel logbook. And 2, there was no running balance, not recorded in the logbook. And thirdly, reviews on the fuel logbook. There was no evidence of review by the authorized personnel for the period 2017 to 2019.
What are the implications?
Fuel allocation policy. There is no written fuel policy as allocations are not made to individual staff. Sorry, that's the response. Fuel allocation policy. A fuel distribution policy not maintained exposes management to a risk of inconsistency in the fuel distribution process, which results to a risk of inefficiency or inadequate controls on fuel distribution, further leading to financial losses if not managed adequately. Implication of register. The fuel register not recording all fuel purchases exposes management to a risk of having an incomplete record trail from fuel being purchased and to the end user. The running balance not captured makes it difficult to determine the closing stock at a particular period in the possession of the fuel manager, so to assist management in terms of monitoring and controlling. And lastly, lack of reviews on the fuel logbook could lead to errors and irregularities occurring, which could end up undetected by management. Page 15, the cash and cash equivalent. A, reviews on bank reconciliation 2018. It was noted that the following reconciliations listed below were no reviews conducted on them. And B, closing balance difference. During our review on the closing bank balances in the financial statements, we noted that the following differences between the financial statement bank balance and the actual bank reconciliation as follows: 47,618. 2018 there was a difference of 32,541, and 2019 a difference of 629,391. And lastly is the opening balance differences. During our review on the opening bank balances in the financial statements, we noted the following differences between the bank balance as per financial statement and the actual bank balance as per reconciliation. 2017 we had a difference of 93,149. 2018 a difference of 7,000, and 2019 a difference of 100,000. Implication. Lack of reviews exposes management to a risk of errors and irregularities occurring, which could go undetected. And another implication is differences in opening and closing balances indicates lack of reconciliation between the financial statements and the balances as per system to ensure that differences do not exist. And I think page 18 is just expenditures with payment vouchers not provided for our review.
Thank you very much to the external auditor. So now we'll move on to here. And then after a report to 2017, 2018, and then 2019.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. Good morning, members of the National Audit Office. Honorable Chair, for GPPA, the last report we have for National Audit Office is in 2016. We last reviewed them in 2016. But my humble office is scheduling them in early August for the review of 2017 to 2021 review exercise. So as of now, we don't have any report to present. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been reported by GPA that they do not have any report for the National Audit Office for the years ending 2017, 2018, and 2019 respectively. Do you have any observations to that effect before we continue? The floor is open to the honorable members. Yes. Honorable Faruja.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. My question will go to GPPA. You didn't have any reports, as you said, you didn't have any report for the entire period of from 2016, or the last day that you had a report was in 2016. So, which means there will be no report from that particular 2017 to date. Can you tell us the reason why you're not having any report and you're planning to have another one in early August? Can we have any explanation for that, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chan. Do we have any other observations from honorable members?
I just want to hold this question. When do you intend to do this so that we can get all these reports together? Because as you know, this committee is overwhelmed with so many applicants. So and right now we don't have enough time to this. So if you can tell us when we want to do this thing, so that we can get the report on time. Because right now with this report, without your report, it's still going to delay our process.
Can we have a response to that question?
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, and thank you so much. I will answer the first question, which was raised by Honorable Sane. Honorable Sane, the reasons of GPPA...
Honorable Chan.
Cham, sorry. Honorable Cham, the reasons as one of the reasons is as we all know, we are staff constrained, because the GPPA is responsible for reviewing more than 200 procuring institutions, and staff constraint is another challenge we are encountering now. And but hopefully and promise, the other answer to the other honorable is we plan to review this National Audit Office early August, and the report will be submitted before the end of August 2022, from 2017 to 2021, inshallah.
Thank you. Any other questions from honorable members before we proceed? Okay. Honorable Chan.
Wait, still. Still with GPPA, my question will still go to the lady, madam, please. And since we were having staff constraint for a period of 2016, from 2016 I can say, because that was the period that you last presented your report. And from 2016 to the August or the first week of August that you'll be presenting your report again. Are you still encountering that staff constraint? And was the report given to the National Assembly that you were having staff constraint since that period or throughout?
Honorable Chair, this complaint of the staff constraint was reported to the National Assembly on several occasions. And as I'm speaking now, the constraint was during the period 2016-17 to 18. But as I'm speaking now, that is solved. We have way forward. We employ so many staff, especially at the technical department. So that one is solved. Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Sorry, thank you, Honorable Members, and then thank you to GPPA as well. I think okay, we'll take that as the last one, yes. Honorable Chair. Okay.
Madam, still the question will come back to you again. Since you have that, the problem is solved, and you've been given various reports to the National Assembly about the staff constraint. Let's say early in August 2022, when you were presenting your report, or in our next meeting, can we have an evidence of, was it in writing when you were given that report that there is staff constraint at your end? Is there any evidence, like in writing also? If there is any, can we have that in the National Assembly when coming next, please?
Honorable Chair.
Sorry, I want to intervene here. What we'll do is we'll pick that up with the MD, because she is deputizing now. So we'll pick it up with the MD, and then we'll make sure that we get all the relevant information. If not, we might compel her to give us information which might be inaccurate, and here we want to deal with evidence. They will come back. So, but on a more serious note, I think the issue of non-performance cannot be encouraged. You know, staff constraint is a hindering factor which is present in all institutions. But we strongly believe that that should not stop you from performing your core responsibilities. So, as an institution, of course, we know that you are governed by existing laws and regulations, but it is your responsibility equally to make sure that that conducive environment do prevail. As the National Assembly, we will do our utmost to make sure that we intervene in areas that we know can add value to your efficiency and productivity. But come August, we want to see that report. And to that, there will be no extension. And just to reiterate the fact that the non-performance of GPPA would not stop the Finance and Public Accounts Committee to continue their consideration of the National Audit Accounts financial statements tomorrow. So before concluding, I would ask the Auditor General if at all he have any statements to share. But again, I just want to add this. We have not yet received the soft copies of the financial statements for 2017, 18, and then 19, together with the management letter. So if we can have it to this email, which I would share with the AG, if we can have them today, that would be good, because we have some members who are not here presently, but they would also like to have the information so that they can add their input. So, Mr. MD, the floor is yours, so in case you have any contribution.
Yeah, we are not aware of that requirement, otherwise we would have supplied it beforehand. I just want to speak Yeah, I will say we are not aware of that requirement, otherwise we would have supplied it beforehand, because this was already a long time ago.
But Honorable AG, you were here during the briefing.
Yeah?
Just mention it.
Consolidation. Okay. Oh, okay.
No, the clarification I want to make is,
okay.
when we invited all the ministries, departments, and agencies,
Okay.
I mean, the provision of the soft copies was an explicit requirement.
Okay.
That was expressed.
Both
verbally and in written format as well. So just check your records.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll supply them. For in the case of GPPA, like Madam mentioned, you have to look at a number of a lot of them. The mandate is very wide. Perhaps what we can advise them is to have to strategize, to give priority to issues that are reporting to the National Assembly. Because if you have to do the entire country, it will be difficult to do it annually. It's the same. We also face this similar problem. You cannot go to every issue every year, so you kind of how do you call it? Go, periodically. When you go, you pick up from where you stopped the last time you visited. Maybe what we can advise is for them to prioritize institutions that are coming to the National Assembly, like we are doing for them. That's what we are doing. We are prioritizing institutions that come to the National Assembly. Most of these PEC issues that we do, we prioritize, and then at the expense of others. But of course, it also depends on your risk assessment too. Yeah. So you can, there can be an issue where you haven't visited for maybe 5 years, and you have one that you go there regularly. But for example, every year, depending on its exposure to risk. I think that also is taken into consideration in terms of their choice of looking at a particular institution or not. But I think that would be a good advice to share with you. I'm also part of them too, yeah, to perhaps prioritize institutions that are coming here, so that how do you call it? We don't encounter this problem. Thank you. In our own part, we don't have anything. Maybe tomorrow, when after all the questions, we'll have something to say. So now we are quiet.
Thank you very much, Auditor General. You know, to honorable members, do we have, any clarifications that we want to do?
Yeah, it's just only to make emphasis that this will help us at least be able to do our work effectively. We need to make a difference.
Thank you.
We just result behind. We have to move in time.
Thank you, Honorable Sani. He's also a member of the FPAC committee. So in the absence of that, I would like to, on behalf of the FPAC committee, say thank you to the National Audit Office, to GPPA and the external auditors, to the Assembly support staff and our subject matter specialists, and all the honorable members here present, together with the media. Can I have someone to move the motion for the meeting to be adjourned till tomorrow at 10 a.m.? Hey, tomorrow 1 p.m. In the afternoon. Okay, can I have someone move the motion for the meeting to be adjourned to 1 p.m. today? It has been moved. Any seconder? It has been moved and seconded that the meeting for the Finance and Public Accounts Committee to be adjourned till today 1 p.m. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. The meeting have been adjourned. Thank you very much.